Hi, and welcome to CX Today. I'm Susie Harrison, Head of Content. And today I'm delighted to be joined for this big CX update by Matthew Ainsworth, who is Chief Revenue Officer at Miratech. So thanks for joining me, Matthew.
Thank you for having me.
So today really is a deep dive into finding out more about Matthew and his role at Miratech, finding more about the company and its plans for the future. So let's start by diving in and learning more about you, Matthew. Do you want to start by telling me a little bit about your professional background?
Yeah, I started my career in sales, working for a business intelligence company, Cognos, and worked my way up through the organization and took an opportunity to move to a CX company focused on contact center technologies and spent nearly 22 years there, which with that company I moved to America and became their head of sales and marketing. From there, we moved into Miratech, and I've been with Miratech for 5 years as the CRO, supporting their strategic growth.
Great. So I'm going to really put you on the spot here and ask if there's any fun facts about your personality that you'd like to share with us.
Fun facts about my personality. Yeah, that's a great one. So very much a family man. I have 4 children spanning from the millennial all the way down to the alpha, my eldest being 29 and my youngest being 9. So I've got quite the spread of children. And so our whole life is centered around doing things with our children and playing with our children and watching them grow up.
Well, that will keep you busy.
It does, yeah.
What aspects of your job are you most passionate about?
So for me, work is always about, I'd say, learning and improving and growing, especially within the industry that we're in that's related to, people have called it, customer experience. I like to look at it as more user experience. We spend a lot of time thinking about the experience of the agent as much as we do the user. So it takes a lot of learning ongoing as these technology trends have continued to accelerate. And I often like to analogy it to, growing up as a child and having cassette tapes and records and then being told to throw all those out. And we then had CDs. And then I moved all my CDs onto a device and put them onto this pod and then told I don't need that anymore because I can stream everything. No wonder we're so frustrated as Generation X, but I like to think of it as we are constantly having to learn new technologies and adapt to the change in technology environments. And, I really like it, right? I really like to be around constant change and constant need to adopt new things and grow. And something that customer experience has forced on us is, the olden days of picking up a phone to the new days of systems being able to talk back to us and applications on mobile phones and chatbots and everything continues to adopt and change every day.
And I think that evolution's only going to get quicker, isn't it, as AI moves apace. So it's going to continue to be a very interesting area to be involved in. So I know no 2 days are the same for anybody, but can you tell us a little bit about what a typical day looks like for you?
Yeah, so as once said by a famous president, I was watching the interview with David Letterman as he was asked, working for a Ukrainian-based company and in the middle of a war, they asked him, what's a typical day during a war? And he said, I get up in the morning and I take a shower and I have breakfast with my family. Jokes aside, typical day is working alongside my leadership and helping them with the challenges they have every day in supporting our clients and driving our clients, managing the complexities of understanding how we're going to help and enable our clients to provide better experiences to their customers and what approaches they're going to be doing with it. So I would say probably still, even today, 30% of my time is on with clients and 30% of it is online with partners, and those partners being some of the largest technology vendors in this space. It consumes probably most of my day today, and I probably should be spending more time on the management factor of all of this, but I've built a very strong leadership team and management team around me to be able to drive the day-to-day business that we do. So staying in touch and keeping in connection with my clients as well as the technology partners and the technology as it is.
And what's your elevator pitch for Miratech? Can you give us an idea of what the company is in a nutshell?
That's a great question. So, Miratech. I came here about 5 years ago, and I was looking to move away from getting out of the software industry, and I was really eager during the period of COVID to start working with people and being around people. And I found Miratech as a company of software developers, and I'd been working in this industry and in CX for over 25 years, helping and enabling software companies develop their software to improve, the offerings of providing customer experience to their clients. From there, the intention of Miratech was to provide the same quality of people to large enterprise organizations to enable their customer experience. And so we've spent the last 5 years truly focusing in on working with large-scale enterprises in driving and building next-generation customer experience, contact centers, call centers, and bots and AI. Really thinking about it from the perspective of not what technologies you chose, but what are the business requirements and what are the business needs you have, and how can we enable and help your users and your customers interact with these platforms better.
And is there anything that you'd say is unique about the company culture?
So we have a very strong culture around being relentless, as I mentioned earlier. Ukraine by birth as an organization and now become a global company spread around the world in 35 locations with over 1,000 engineers, very much focused in on how to make experiences better and how to develop technologies and integrate them together in that environment. The challenges you have there is you have to have a very different mindset. This is not, follow the manual and configure the book. You have to be very open to ideas and changes. And so I'd say Miratech culture has always been about thriving in complex challenges and our relentless pursuit to achieve seemingly impossible tasks. So it's very common we'll come into an environment that's struggling to achieve their goals, meet their deadlines, or deliver on the solution and the offering that they want to provide to their clients and users. And our engineering prowess enables us to be able to take a very systematic approach to helping companies in solving those problems and addressing the business needs while meeting the technology adoption.
And can you give us an overview of your main products and services?
Yeah. So we look at things from an engagement model standpoint, and we think about it as historically we've been very much an IT outsourcing company providing team extension, right? So enabling and building high-performing teams for companies, whether that be becoming part of their team or actually taking over and becoming all of their team. And in some of our clients, we do full turnkey IT services where we are from the CIO all the way down to the engineer on the street doing all of the work for them. That drove us towards being able to provide and support professional services. We've done this for the last 15, 20 years, enabling and helping vendors and helping our clients with professional service engagements. But in the last 5 years, we've been very focused on building out a managed service offering to our clients and looking at managed services from a cloud perspective. So historically, when people say managed services, they think of day two, MACD, moves, adds, change, deletes, look after my platform, look after my system. We look at it from a true cloud perspective and think about it from an entire life cycle, from the architecture and design of your platform through the agile transformation and delivery to the actual day-to-day management and proactive management of your platform, and then through that to take the full cycle back optimization and customization. So how do I truly make this experience better? Once I understand that I have it up and running and I have it working and I have these systems all integrating and talking to each other, because when we talk about, contact center or call centers or agents, we're talking about multiple pieces of technology communicating with each other in milliseconds to support that user, that agent, that client asking a question and receiving the right response. That we have to be able to go back and look at how we improve on that and how we build more improvements around containment, ovation, and how we get better response times, how we get the right answer to those people and improve their overall experience. As we know, they can be quite frustrating to use, and people are frustrated with waiting and hold times and hanging around. And how can we improve that for them and do it appropriately and timely?
So when you're having conversations at the moment with potential clients, do you have topics that are dominating those conversations, or are they fairly spread?
Yeah, I'd say so. We spend, for our business, two sides of our core business is we do a lot of software development for CX vendors and for other software companies developing their technologies and migrating them to the cloud and enabling their new technologies in the cloud, as well as the other side of our business in helping enterprises is very much focused right now on the adoption and migration of either moving from on-premise based systems to the cloud and looking at the CCaaS vendors out there, for example, but also more importantly, the ones who've already moved there are now looking at and trying to understand, okay, how does AI become a part of that, right? And what does that mean? It's great. I can use the word AI and say AI 3 or 4 times and people go, oh, that's great. But what does that really mean, right? And what does that mean to you as a business as it relates to what's the difference between generative AI and AI, and what are we trying to achieve with it? And how do we go from just saying those words to then talking about, okay, let's talk about how we build true automation in our business, how we improve customer experience with the leverage of these platforms, and start to have clients truly interacting inside of bots and chatbots and agents and communicating back and forth to provide us with the information required quickly, easily, and efficiently. And so that challenge is fraught with security issues, fear, scare. We're talking about getting rid of people here. And as we've all seen, agent counts don't reduce and go down. What we do is we just improve their ability to function and operate.
Yeah. So you've spoken a bit about your development and AI. Can you tell us a bit about how Miratech is approaching innovation, what the process is there, and sort of feedback loops?
Yeah. So, as a company, we're not building software per se, right? For the purpose of sale. We are a services company, and we like the IP to remain within inside of our clients that we're building for them as part of them, because we become part of their teams and organizations. So we're heavily focused in that respect on taking technologies that they've selected, or we jointly are assisting them and helping them through that process of selecting those technologies. And then how do they enable them within their environment and get the best from them and get their true return on investment and actually start to see the value of the technologies that they've invested in supporting and improving the experiences they provide. So as far as going right into innovation, when you look at the past, we'd have these platforms and we do a lot of configuration, and you do a lot of tweaking and turning up this and turning down that and setting up, and people used to build call flows, and it was all very generic how it was built out. And consultants could be trained from a manual and they go through those steps. Now what we're seeing is the ability to be actually able to take a business problem, right, and that business problem becomes very real, and then use AI technologies like Gen AI to build out a functionality that can be then automated and processed and repeated again and again and again. And then from there, understanding and looking at how it's performing and what it's doing, and whether it's saving time, whether it's helping and enabling people to do things quicker and faster. So the innovation is now coming within the ability to code inside of these platforms. We talk about conversational AI and the building of those. We used to build the concept of a call flow. I say, welcome to the bank. Please give me your name. Please give me your account number. Now I can say, please say anything to me. ask me what it is you need and I will reply. Well, that's all good and well, but if you open that up to every possible question under the sun, you've got to be very careful about how you're going to be able to answer those. And so you've got to think through what it is you're asking and think through what it is that you want to give them the ability to achieve and how you want them to achieve that function. And then all of those then need to make requests, commands, and integration points to back-end systems. You could be pulling information and data from policy management systems, from CRM systems, from service desk systems, from personal information, and making sure that that's all protected and used. So it's not just I configure inside of this one platform and it all works fine. I'm thinking about the integration of multiple technologies talking to each other in the cloud and assuring that I get that positive experience and really a feeling of reality, right? That it's happening now and it's all real time and I need it now and I want an answer now. I think Amazon has done a great job in making sure that everybody wants something now, right? I can have it now and I want it now. Well, that's becoming more and more the need in customer experience. I don't want to sit on the phone and wait 45 minutes to be connected to an agent and talk to an agent when I should be able to ask the question, receive the answer back, and then proceed to ask another question and continue to ask those questions and query my own personal data, my own personal information and other things that I'd like to do. And we do this for large healthcare companies and finance companies today who are looking to change and adapt to be able to support their clients in this way.
So you've touched on quite a lot of innovations there. Do you have a sense of what you see as the greatest opportunity in CX right now?
Yeah, so, I would love to jump up and down and say it's all AI and everything's AI because that's what the vendors are telling everybody. But the truth is, I believe not everybody has even moved to the cloud at this point, right? Where, I remember the days when people had fast internet services and thought everybody had fast internet services and people were still using dial-ups 10, 15 years later. So the reality is that the CCaaS industry has moved very quickly. There was a big uptake and spike in small companies where it was a really positive, easy, quick solution for them. And it was very well fitted to their needs and their requirements. And so we've seen a very large uptake in that rolling out contact center as a service, right? Coming from the large vendors, the Genesys, the Five9s, the NICE, and these types of companies. But that's only about 50% of the world has actually adopted this technology so far because when you get to the larger enterprises, they become a lot more complex and they're questioning, do I get everything I need from that one vendor like I used to in the past? Or I'm looking at my cloud service provider, Google, Amazon, Microsoft now wanting to also provide those capabilities and functionalities, and putting all of that together and working out what I'm going to use and when and how has become a lot more complex for these larger enterprises in trying to solve that problem. And so I see them still going through that adoption and migration to the cloud and adopting and leveraging their cloud migrations. We've seen the uptick in cloud migrations across Google, Amazon, and Microsoft in general, just for systems and applications being moved there. But now we're talking about, true real-time experiences of customer experience, which is, even moving towards doing real-time video and some of the bankings offering virtual agents at kiosks. So this transition is happening so quickly. The adoption is difficult for them to consume it all and understand where they should go, who they should go with. And can I just rely on one vendor to do everything? And what we're seeing here is that people are realizing that they're going to have to use multi-vendor approaches to address all of these topics and all of these problems. And then they can begin to start the challenges of, okay, how can we use Gen AI? What can Gen AI do for us in the customer experience world? We see it being used for work process automation every day, right? Where we can process jobs and process functions. That's great. And that's where automation has played a very strong part. But how is it going to interact with you and I, with an agent or with a corporation that we do business with on a daily basis? And that lies the challenges of security, data protection, PII, personal information, and everything else. And the complexities of trying to do that at scale is still being worked through by many of these large organizations today.
Yeah, definitely. Well, great. Matthew, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been brilliant to hear more about you and Miratech. And to our viewers, thank you very much for joining us. If you did enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And of course, keep an eye on cxtoday.com where we'll be covering more topics like these and of course, following Miratech on their journey. So thank you very much.